way up to Flagstaff or something if I really wanted to get, see some snow or. Okay. All right. Hey, guys. Nice to have everyone back on here again this week. Happy Tuesday. Just getting things rolling here. We got the live stream going. Let me validate that. That is going. And I think we are golden. Awesome. One of the new things I added here is a poll. If anyone feels like filling that out, I was just playing around with this, but for any kind of future topic ideas for future coherence meditations, you could just type that right into the Zoom. I don't know how it actually presents yourself, but if you see it, you fill it out. That's great. If you don't, we'll probably see comments in the video comments on YouTube and Facebook. So anyways, welcome, guys. Thank you, everyone, for attending this awesome coherence meditation every Tuesday. So, out in Facebook land and YouTube land and any newbies we have here, thank you for attending. We hold these coherence meditations every Tuesday. And one of the things I said last week, I said good afternoon and good evening, but we also had somebody from across the ocean, and I forgot to say good morning. So, welcome. So every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, we hold these. So our main YouTube channel is listed right right there. So I add a little banner up at the top so you can just scan the QR code over on the YouTube right there. Quick little intro. So we'll make this quick as possible. So freedomstamp.com/Seth, that QR code right there. You can find our weekly Zoom links. We would love to have everyone join in on the live Zoom call where there is no 10 to 15-second delay over to Facebook or YouTube. And otherwise, that's okay if you are over there. Speaking of which, over on our YouTube channel, Cosmic Gaia Community, we hold all of the recordings. So you miss any, you can easily go back and check those recordings out. These coherence meditations we do recommend as a daily practice. And speaking of which, daily, if you are, I guess when I said good morning, is probably a good idea to practice those coherence meditations early in the morning. I think even Dr. Joe Dispenza says every morning between like 3 or 4 p.m. or a.m. is the best time to do these coherence meditations. But of course, you can do them any time of the day. So our topic last week was awakening interchange, and this week we will be continuing that topic. So I'll let it over to Seth to continue that with a little intro, and I think I'm done over here, Seth.
Thank you, Greg, as always. And to see everybody here, so grateful. Thank you for showing up, being present with us. I wanted to do this one again. I think we called it, oh, you said it was, but inspiration for interchange, right? Isn't that something like that?
Well, the whole category was the inspiration of interchange, but the actual title was awakening interchange.
I
So I
said
guess
it.
they go hand in hand together, right?
Yeah, and part of it is like, we want to inspire people to do the inner work because now with everything happening in the world, it's becoming really clear that the way we've been raised and grown up in this world, who we think we are, our identity, our sense of self, nothing wrong with it, but it is so small when you consider like how big everything can be, right? And all of the challenges, all the pain, everything that's happening to so many people in this day and age can have big time remedy. And by that, I mean, like when we do the work, when we get our sense of self in tune with what's allowing us to exist, when we view the world in that way, changes everything because even though we've been trained to see with a really narrow vision, everybody has within them the ability to have a much greater view, a 360-degree circle, if you will. But, when we're small, when we're so focused on the same thing, Joe Dispenza says that the familiar, right? We always focus on what's familiar, and it's easy to do that because it's what we know. But now the world is going through so much change, and change is uncomfortable. It definitely can be because you're talking about bringing peace to your own being and bringing peace to the world as a result of you doing that. And so all the years that it took to get to where we're at right now, we're bringing a state of peace into something that, we're pretty conflicted, fight or flight. We're raised in this world, all the non-sustainable forms of industry, everything that's been happening has been normalized, but it's only normal from a very small level. Like everything happening in the human race. What's happening on Neptune? What's happening in Jupiter? Anything that's happening here, and it seems like it's such a big deal, and it's easy to get caught up in it and stressed out and worried. But what's happening on the planet Venus? And so I always like bring that the ability to just totally have such a big viewpoint that, aside from like death and painful things of people we love in this world, but when we bring that attention, we see how small-minded our world has become and how that small-mindedness really is only working for a few. It's not working from the masses. And when we choose to break out of our own prison of perception, suddenly all those planets are supporting us way beyond it too. And it's funny because the Milky Way, if anybody's ever seen it, there's this huge spiral. And if you look at where Earth is supposed to be, you can't even see it. Not even there. So it's like, what's happening in the galaxy? The central sun, supposedly they call it. That's how I love to perceive things because despite people saying, oh, we don't have anything to do with space, too big. It's not too big. It's just perfect because when we take all that to our little world, to our perception, we give a lot more coherence of a galactic form into this world that needs that much open, wide perception. Anyway, I wanted to do this topic again because inspiring to do the inner work, especially at the times we're in, so important. And I wanted to take another stab at it because I felt like I could do way better for you guys than last time. With that said, do you have your water? If not, take a moment or juice or anything with water in it. Somebody was asking me, what's the best form of water? How do you get structured water? And the body. This is where all the structured water is most structured. That's a whole other topic. So you have your water, either sit or lay down, shut your eyes, and just scan your body from head to toe. You can go back and forth, top to bottom. You can scan through your body slowly. Whatever works for you to be able to feel the energy in your body. And that energy might be pain. It might be stagnant. Could be all kinds of stuff. Can be amazing. Maybe you feel great. Just notice how you feel in your body as a whole, meaning you're almost like a holographic overlay. You have an image of your body in your head, in your heart, and the ability to sense your body. as something that you are in direct connection to. Almost like you could be sitting in top of a mountain looking at your life in this world. And in that holographic overlay, you have the ability to zoom in and zoom out when it comes to your body. And so just be really aware of your body and the energy in it, no matter what it feels like. So as you're sensing your entire body, or if you're not able to focus on your entire body, no worries. Just allow your awareness of you to be what is most comfortable for you now. And as you're feeling your own body, almost like you can see the whole image of your body from in your head, begin to regulate your breathing, rhythmic, even inhales, even exhale, 3 to 4 seconds on the inhale, 3 to 4 seconds on the exhale. Doesn't really matter. Just set it and forget it. Your body knows how to regulate you. As you're relaxed, as you're breathing, and as you're feeling in your body, see if you can feel your heartbeat. See if you can be so calm that your heartbeat becomes easy to detect. So as you're relaxed, as you're breathing rhythmically, as you're feeling your pulse, let you view that overlay of your entire body and feel the pulsation of your heartbeat. And with every beat, you are sending and receiving signals that your being itself is both creating and receiving. When we begin to relax, calm down, and feel that our entire body is working with us, it's working for us. Just what our bodies do without our conscious input is nothing short of a miracle. And the more we begin to trust that miracle, the more we're able to open up our perception. And while you feel your heartbeat and you're aware that it's sending and receiving signals, even if you can't consciously detect it, see if you're able to feel your heartbeat sending and receiving signals throughout your entire body. So it's almost like there's a circle or an egg-shaped, energetic overlay around your body itself. And as you're relaxed, as you're breathing, and as your body starts to almost throb from your heartbeat, and just like an artificial tower sending and receiving signals, so too do you. So too do we. We are already doing all of this, and we're simply taking the time to become more conscious of what is already happening. And the more we begin to trust this life force that is keeping us going, whether we know it or not, when we begin to focus on it, participate with it, the more we trust life, and the more we're able to trust life, the more faith we have from this energy field pulsing within and around the totality of our being. And that's on a macroscopic level. On a microscopic level, the same thing is happening in every cell in our body. Impossibly small and impossibly large at the same time. The more we take time to connect with what is really happening, the more we're able to be the architects of our own perception, of feeling so much love and trust in life, in its ability to animate these beings with beyond genius intelligence. And to the degree that we begin to become conscious of all that we've always been, the more that pulse of information goes further out and in. And to the degree that we want to become conscious of how big or small we want our energy field to be, and to be conscious of it. The only limit is you, is me. Sometimes feeling resistance, sometimes feeling scared. We can have all of these different modes of who we are. And yet, when we begin to attune who we are with what we are, the shackles and cuffs of our own prison of perception start to be released. And with every time that they open up a little more, the more amazing you begin to recognize yourself as, because you know that there is something happening in all of us, to all of us, that is so profound that it is beyond comprehension. And in our intentional ability to let go of that comprehension, at least for a little while, that opens up our own innate intelligence to evolve, to grow, and eventually to remember why all of this is happening and how empowered we have the ability to be when we focus on being in a state of peace while we are observing our bodies from our head to our toes, from our toes to our head. When we begin to be able to view ourselves as the energy we are, we literally begin to perceive that it has always been in a state of coherence. Our bodies, our heartbeat, every organ, gland, fluid, cell of all of this in our entire body, when we don't focus on it, it's doing that for us anyway. And yet, when we do begin focusing on it, the more this energy of us that we are feels our intention to focus and create a habit of focusing on this incomprehensibly beautiful and powerful and beyond genius source of energy. We begin to feel that, and we begin to remember that it's always living. It is already working throughout all the complex systems of our body, working together, working in harmony. And yet, in our short lives, we have forgotten that we have the ability to be aware of all of this in much more of a total observation. And so when we do focus on what it is we are, the more what we are becomes amplified. And all these complex systems of our body start being able to have so much more life force pulsing through every part of our being, of our bodies, from subatomic small to expansion beyond anything that any of us can know about until we begin to create that knowing throughout the core of our being, into our arms and hands, our legs and feet. When we relax all of our body, we begin to feel that column of energy from the bottom of our tailbone to the top of our head. All of that is working in total for us, whether we are aware of it or not. And when we choose to start becoming aware of it, the more that amplification of our intent opens up all the pathways of our body for greater energy flow. We can get so good at observing our body through its own energy field that the more we practice doing this, the inner work, at some point, our perception of our body literally begins to dissipate. And when you get really good at becoming harmonized with what is already happening, the more these bodies become so connected that suddenly your awareness is able to focus on what you really are, this energy force. And the more we focus on that, the more these bodies will literally begin to dissipate, because we are practicing of knowing ourselves as this source of infinite intelligence. It is energy that is so, so powerful and so nurturing at the same time. All of this energy in all of us knows what it's doing, whether we know it or not. And when we do know it, and we learn that we can get so good of becoming conscious of our consciousness, suddenly the world of matter, of material, suddenly it doesn't have old patterns that are toxic, or even if they're just annoying. None of that gets in the way when we choose to know ourselves as exactly what we are. And like water erodes rock, so too does our consciousness when we choose to become conscious of it. The water in our bodies literally become crystallized as we just trust life so much that our faith in life would still be there if our bodies suddenly were gone. And that same pulse of energy that we are intentionally choosing to feel is able to move forward, excited about its own evolutionary potential. And from our voluntary awareness for it to evolve. When we are so in love with life because we know it's not what everybody thinks. It's not for anybody to use any kind of words or projection of drama. We're aware of what is happening. And that stuff has very small roles in our life compared to our own evolution as the soul we are, that for a brief moment has forgotten where it is, so that through our attention, we remember how this happened. We remember who we really are because it is not separate from what we are. And when you begin to feel that pulse, that with your attention starts to expand greater and greater without any resistance from us, the more our relationship between the physical and non physical aspects of these beings evolves. And when we go about our day, whether our eyes are opened or closed, through our breathing, through our calm temperament, and from our love of all of this, the more coherent all of that begins to become supported by everything. And when others who are struggling and they begin to project their struggle onto us or others, the more we are able to witness it as it is. Just like us, everything happening is a reflection of a part of our own awareness. And that in our ability to be at peace with how we perceive reality, the more that peace, the more that coherence, the more that our conscious awareness in harmony with everything in and around us, the more that expands. And whether your eyes are opened or closed, you become conscious of all of this. You keep doing the inner work. And the inner work always is there to support us to the degree that we are ready and willing to remember, to be total, to feel complete. The more all of that begins to show in everything around us. When we choose to become so conscious of our awareness, the more we bring that energy of neutrality, of singularity, when we witness pain and division and separation, we are able to be objective enough to recognize that those are parts of our own perception and our ability to choose how we perceive that. The more we're able to move through anything. So while you're relaxed, while you're breathing, while your heartbeat is pulsing energy out and in at the same time, and you begin to recognize that this is truly miraculous, the more you begin to feel all of these feelings at much deeper levels than maybe we could have ever perceived. We are all at the cutting edge of the evolutionary experience of this energy as it evolves through us. And put a smile on your face and feel it in your heart. When you choose to feel whatever that smile represents to you, that's when things begin to really start happening. We remember that we can always ask, what would love do? What would love do if the person that we believe ourselves to be is stuck or suffering? When we choose to feel gratitude, to feel our own unconditional love, when we choose to prioritize where and what we are focusing on, the more those feelings, elevated feelings, with something as simple as a smile, that the feeling of that smile begins to become infused with every beat of our heart. And bit by bit, we begin to remember that we are completely in harmony with all of that. And to the degree that we smile and feel that love in our heart to the degree that we become so embodied. When we see things happening in this world, we can ask, what would love do? And through this inner work of opening up all the channels and meridians of our being, with our awareness of its energy in and around every part of us, the more complete we begin to see ourselves and this world. We know what love would do because we are cultivating that, even if it hurts, even if it's scary. What would love do? And ask yourself that with that smile and the corresponding feeling of that smile in your heart. We keep doing this. When we make a habit of it, the more we become aware that it was always there. And the more we focus on that, that whether our eyes are open or closed, we know that this awareness of our energy as the soul, the more that energy gets charged, any way that we choose to charge it. And we get to go at our own pace. Life force usually asks how much attention we are willing to give to it. And to whatever degree our attention is, the more that energy starts to really pulse. And the more it pulses, the more we smile. And the more we smile and feel that feeling of love that is already there and that we simultaneously are choosing to be embodied with it. It becomes so clear that all of these great celestial bodies that are everywhere compared to our physical existence, all of that is alive, just like our bodies. Everything comes from the same source. But what we choose to do with that source defines us. And when we see other people or entities that are out of line, our ability to stand in neutrality, charged by singularity, our awareness, the more we demonstrate through action of peace than anything else. We don't need to say anything And through our peace, we begin to feel everything that we are ready to feel. And the more of an effect that has in every part of our body, and to whatever degree we choose to perceive everything in this way. So you're totally calm. Your body is completely relaxed. Your breath is even and gentle. Your heartbeat is strong and totally relaxed. And that little smile on your face that you feel in your heart and your whole body, the more that love raises the frequency of all that makes you what you are. And that by its demonstration allows others to feel that they too can participate in this consciously. And after a little while, everything begins to make common sense. If you have the ability to feel who you are with these feelings you are creating with what you are, the more this perception and expansion, the more it begins to pulse through your entire being. From the smallest atom in your body to the totality of your own energy field, and to whatever degree you are willing to be open to it. When you do that and you create conscious coherence of what is already doing that, your body, your heart, when you become conscious of all of it, it will naturally push away any kind of toxin or any kind of fear. And by its nature, it rejects anything that anybody would put on us. All the dimensions of energy in and around us, when we are conscious of it, the more in coherence with reality we become, and the more protected we are. Because we're not going to stay stuck in states of being that the world teaches us is normal. We are choosing to step out of that by completely stepping into this coherence that we already are. And when we do this together, when you make this interconnectivity your most important relationship, and by your practice of it, the more intimate you become with that relationship, And when we choose to create community with others who choose to prioritize that inner relationship, the more we amplify that in our community, in our world, and as far out as we are ready and willing to go. Just let yourself scan your body, relaxing even deeper. And if there's a certain part of your body that you're struggling with or that feels out of tune, let yourself be aware of that. Let that energy be exactly what it is, with you trusting so much in life to know that you don't even have to focus on it. You simply just become aware of it without focusing on it. And when we are calm, when we are choosing to feel love with our smile that we feel in our heart, when we bring all of that together, it naturally opens up anything in you that you feel resistance to, because you are working on the entirety of who and what you are. So just relax your body. Allow yourself to be aware of any part of your body without having to focus on it. Instead, you're just being aware of it. And through your intention and through the actual connectivity of all these great complex systems of our body, the more we become aware of how interconnected we've always been. Just like a pristine forest, it is all completely interconnected. And the more the totality of that forest becomes stronger from the light of the sun, the more it becomes balanced when it becomes dark at night. When we let go of everything that we sometimes forget about, and we lose our center, and we get stuck in the polarity of duality, the greater the opportunity becomes for us to get really good at being aware of what has always been there. And the more our energy charges the energy that's already there, and when we begin to feel it, just like the sun from 93 million miles away, when we feel that star nourishing us, all the forests on this continent, in all the continents of the world, to whatever degree we are willing to relax and become brightly conscious of. That's us choosing to allow our awareness to be neutral, and for that neutrality to create balance that is even and that is supercharged to whatever degree we are willing to be with it. And feel that smile and remind yourself, the more you do this, the more you smile and feel it as whatever it is to you, or that is unconditional love, or that is gratitude, in awe of the forces of life, whether near or far. When we let all of that be what it is, the more it supports our position. So become aware of the water or juice or whatever it is. And while you're totally calm, while you feel the uplifted energy of self love, let all of what you are be all that is. And to whatever degree you choose to put your awareness into it, the more this brings all of that balance and neutrality and singularity and unity into all that you perceive and be with. And so if you're smiling, you're feeling that smile, it's uplifting you, your sense of self, the physicality of your body. You are raising the frequency of your being just by focusing on it. And when you get good at having practice of knowing yourself as this, the more this starts to pay attention to you. And so you're in your heart, you're feeling the smile that's on your face, in your heart, and you're feeling your heart beat. And you're aware that you are an energy field that is neither trapped inside your own perception or anything else. And to whatever degree you experience yourself as your energy field, the more aware you become of everything. And so you feel your heartbeat, you feel your body so calm. Let that energy field that is pulsing with every beat of your heart, let that charge up the water that you brought with you. And if you can feel your pulse outside of you in that water, you do that, it's because you're paying attention. And attention is paying you back. It is the most important relationship of all our lives. And everything happening in the world is a reminder for us to focus inwardly more and more until everything we have shared tonight starts to become your nature, your sense of self. And if you're ready to love all of that unconditionally, then see if you can feel your heart in that bottle or cup of water. And if you feel it in your body, but you don't feel it in your water yet, it's okay. Just let the natural pulse of you expand outwardly to whatever degree you are ready. And when anything happens, remind yourself to ask what love would do. And that's you, more embodied in your totality. That is you remembering how interconnected you are with everything, and that you trust, and that you are creating further bonds of trust with all of this until all of everything continues to supercharge you or nourish you. Whatever it is that you feel you need as an energy for healing, for being creative, everything that you experience every day, even if you're not aware, your heart is pulsing. And by making a habit of being aware of that pulse and feeling gratitude for it, all you're really doing is becoming in touch with reality. Everybody who wants to stay in a deep state, just hang up. Everybody who's ready to be in a more waking state, rub your hands together, create friction, get them warm, and then put the palms of your hands over your eyes. And with your palms over your eyes, feel your own energy that you cultivated tonight with us. Feel it from your head to your toe. Be so aware of your body that you're right in harmony with your whole body. There isn't any part that you are not in. You are in all of it. And it's something to get very excited about, but relaxed excitement. So please like, love, share this with others who need help or who would resonate with it. And we will be here every Tuesday. And Greg, thank you as always for all your help. And we're excited for the new social platform that's on its way. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for attending. We will see you next week. And I have one question.
Yes.
When is the next portal out of town to Venus?
See, the beauty is you can create that.
Okay.
All right.
I'll see you
Awesome.
over there.
Yeah.
Bye. See you guys.